Welcome back, everyone. So today I wanted to talk a little bit more on the craftier side of stuff. I was resining and I always found myself with a little extra resin left over, didn't know what to do with it, didn't have any tiles, so I ended up ordering silicone molds. Thought it was a great way to use up the rest of that resin. I started making little tiny resin creatures and eventually came across like little gemstone shapes and then the pendants. So I ordered the rectangle and the teardrop, so you can create little pendants out of them, or you could create little sea life out of them. And so today I'm just going to talk about what you can do with them. And to start off, let me pop these out of the little molds since I just did these last night. So they come out really easy, cute little shapes. Side here, so I had these old containers. I already cleaned the other one out, but I just want to show you because once it's used I have to rip it apart, but I use these just to fill in for the bottom here, and created two little oval kind of shapes which I thought would be fun to make pendants out of. So I went ahead, popped it out, got a hole put into it, so we'll work with those. I want to show you what to do with these and these. So in the past, I started coming in and was using my Ohuhu markers, these little metallic brush pen markers, because I found that they draw and write on resin so perfectly. So I was like, oh, I have an idea. So I came in and I started coloring the little creatures as shown. And then afterwards, I go in with the Duplicolor clear coat and just kind of seal everything. So it gives it a nice sheen, but really pretty, little fun sea life that you can create. And you can do the same with anything else with the resin. So I saved this to just kind of show you how nice these markers, just without beating up, without getting all dotted, they just go on this resin so nicely. So with these, like I mentioned, you can create pendants with them. I love Anne-Marie Ritterhoff's tutorial the other day when she took the shell, she filled it with resin, with sand, everything, and then she used seashells inside. And I thought, well, I have these little tiny figurines like I can make and then kind of do something similar. It'd be a fun additive into the shells. Let me grab one actually just to show you. So using her resin, she added a little bit of the blue paint, I believe, in hers, just to make it a little bit bluer, and she added more each time and then finished it off with the white. But she took these shells and she layered the resin and the sand and brought it up and let that dry, came back with a second coat of clear or lightly tinted resin, and then took her seashells that she had and her other little objects and she put them in the shell and layered them in, and then afterwards came back and did another coat with the white and then dropped the clear resin through the white to create that kind of seafoam look. But look at how perfectly these fit into these shells. They're just the right size, so you can come in and play with the product placement. So if you have any extra resin, if you find yourself you're that person who makes too much by accident, or even if you follow every tutorial out there on how much resin to use for your painting and you still find yourself with too much resin, I've used every chart out there on the net, and I still find myself with just enough to fill these little silicone molds. So today I'm going to do a sea turtle for you guys, show you the process of making this one. Oh, that would be fun. Here's the base. Put some glue on there, string, create a cute little pendant with a sea turtle. I think we can do that. I like those together. Just leave them as is. But today we're just going to color in one of these little guys to show you how I do it. I mean, if you don't like marker and everything all over your hands, this is the time to go and put gloves on, because the marker does transfer over onto your hands during this process. Now the colors I used today, or used on the turtle, I kind of stuck with the greens, the golds, the browns, and this really dark, like, charcoal gray metallic for the eyes, and a little added detail. I started off with this emerald green. I like that brown under there, so I'm not going to fill it in completely, since the coffee metallic does work to my advantage in this. So leave a hint of it showing through. Alright, then I took this lighter leafy green and I applied it to the fins, the neck, the head. And I do recommend the brush tip for something like this, since you can get into really fine detail, or if you want a larger section covered quickly, it makes it that much easier using a brush tip. Now that you have the green down, you can put it aside and then choose your next color. So I really like the gold on this leafy green, so I stuck with that for all the highlighted areas. And I chose, since I don't know if you can see all the little details from the mold, so I chose areas on here to highlight with this gold, because I still wanted a lot of that green to come through, but I wanted that hint of gold for the detail, for the kind of bumpy texture. So you're just going to come in and dot it on, still allowing for that green to shine through. The other great thing about using resin for this is it's very lightweight. It's not heavy at all. So if you're going to create earrings, if you're going to create pendants, any kind of jewelry, and you don't want a lot of weight to it, then stick with some resin work. Alright, so with this brown kind of coffee, bronzy, metallic color, just coming in and lightly brushing along the shell, creating those little highlighted areas. I'm going to come back one more time with the emerald, just lightly brush on top of it with the emerald. And if you want a little bit on the shell, you can always come in and add just a little bit of that gold to tie the two together. Now for the highlighted areas. So under the shell, I took the charcoal right along where any kind of shadow maybe cast. Just brought in a little bit of that shadowing, darkened it up a little bit. It just helps add that little extra something. And then around the neck. And the eyes. So the eyes are already a little bumped out right there. And then that's where you can come back and add the finishing kind of touches. And once you apply that clear coat, it really saturates the color, gives it a nice shine. Alright, so let me go spray this down real quick and we'll be right back. Alright, so he sprayed down while he is drying, or she, while it is drying. Let's come in and work on one of these. Let's do, I don't know, teardrop or... I'm gonna do the teardrop. And since they are coffee metallic, why don't we add some coffee theme to them, just for the fun of it. Who doesn't love coffee? Right, so I'm definitely going to be using these three. Maybe some of this silver, the lighter silver. Yeah, we'll stick with that. Alright. Let's do a little silver coffee cup. We'll just do that little coffee emoji on them. That'll be cute, right? Alright, so there's our little coffee time earrings, or pendants, or I'm not quite sure, little charms. Gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna apply a clear coat onto them. So we have our turtles and our coffee time. But yeah, let me know what you think. I was trying to find new creative ways to not waste resin, since it is expensive. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Does this help you guys at all? Anything you guys think you might do in the future? I have an idea with paint skins and resin. I'll do it in another video. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, comment, throw this up on Pinterest or anything. Help me out. Get the word out there. But yeah, you guys have a great night, and I will see you guys soon. Bye. I also got featured in an article by amazing stylist and model Daria Acton. The link is below if you guys want to go check that out, give her support, and thank you once again for watching.